What's going on, everybody? Matt Covey from Suburban Canine. Today I'm here with Cody Will from Rattlesnake Ready LLC. And we also have Devin Oakes, one of our trainers here in the Phoenix area, and our star, I suppose.
Yeah, this is Annie.
Annie. So, Cody, tell us, why are we here today? What is this place? What's going on?
Yeah, so essentially we specialize in a unique service called Rattlesnake Avoidance Training. We teach dogs to avoid rattlesnakes, and mostly because it is a big problem. Dogs get bit by rattlesnakes all the time, not just here in the Phoenix area, but in other states as well. They just don't know better. They typically investigate them, and we combat that by putting them through a 4-step process and teach them to keep their nose out of rattlesnakes.
Absolutely. And, although we're dog trainers, and this is Devin's personal dog, and she's going to be trained by Cody today, we're huge believers in specialization. So this is not something you want to do on your own. You're going to see why. You need a live rattlesnake. And Cody's been on our podcast and talked about it in detail, but there's a lot that goes into this. And if you have a pretend snake or you're trying to, play noises, it's, that sound like a rattlesnake, it's not the same. And unless you're a snake expert, you probably shouldn't be handling rattlesnakes.
It's a little dangerous. So basically 4 steps for the new dogs. We got 2 live rattlesnakes. They're both muzzled, so they can't bite. It is safe for her to approach them if she wants to. Most dogs do exactly that. They don't know better. They go right up and investigate it. So we'll let her do that. As soon as she's too close, that's when I give her a little sting with the collar. They typically blame the snake and jump back and start avoiding it pretty quickly. And then we've got a fresh shed skin we'll let her sniff and teach her that's a bad smell. And then I've got a little speaker between some boulders. We'll make sure she understands to flee from rattling if she ever hears that noise. And then the last thing we do is show her an adult diamondback. That one's muzzled as well. Usually by that point, they want nothing to do with it. So if she's clearly afraid of it, then she's good to go.
All right, we've got a snake in the yard here. I'm hiding behind the camera, obviously, about as far from the snake as I can be and still be able to get a shot of it. And our pup is off leash exploring right now, just getting a feel for the yard and looking around, and she has no idea the snake is over here. The snake keeps trying to leave. No one worry about me. I'm keeping my eye on it. There's no way that thing's getting within 20 feet of me. I don't need snake avoidance training.
Annie. Oh, got a potty. Ooh, watch out. Gave her a little sting right there. It was just a good surprise. So it was a little different in that she didn't find it. She was going by it. It caught her attention, and right as she looked to it, I gave her a little sting right there. Good girl, Annie. So this is good right here. So if you watch her body language, like she's looking back at it constantly and tells me she thinks that was the source of where that came from. If they run away and never look back, I cannot assume that they actually made the right connection. So you can get her right next to you again. Where you're at's great. She's far enough to not need to get corrected. Okay, there we go. So yeah, she's... What was that, Annie? Did that get you? She should be smelling it right there. Wind's blowing right that way. Good girl, what was that? So this investigation is good in my opinion. She's figuring out what it is. Some trainers would already be correcting them more right here, but I want to make sure she gets a good look at it, smells it, all those details. As long as she's not moving toward it, we're good. That's a plenty safe enough distance right there to avoid being bitten. What was that, Annie? So a good little test, by the way, since she's right here. Good girl. I'm going to stay here. If you actually go right to the other side of the snake, you can give it several feet of distance, so take a few steps back. That's great. Just call her. She should go away this way or this way around the snake to get to you. Good girl.
She's giving it some good distance
there. Space. Yeah, good girl, Annie. So with her on your left just like that, go ahead and walk straight to me. Just act unaware of the snake. She should break heel and go away. Good girl, just like that. Good girl. Yeah, you let Dad get bit. You go around.
So for the record, I feel like Devin got too close to the snake. Could we put a collar on him and maybe
I know, right?
teach him to keep his distance?
So, jokes aside, I try to make sure the dog knows to avoid it no matter what the owner's doing.
Yeah.
So like, as long as they're not like, here, come check this thing out, that's a mixed message. But if they're acting unaware of it and they're a few feet from it, that's not necessarily a bad thing. So obviously she won't always be able to see them. That's where the next 2 steps come into play. So I'll put this guy away when she's not looking and I'll go get the skin exposed. You can just let her wander off to wherever she wants to go. That's great. All right, so I just uncovered the skin. You're actually good. Looks like a little piece of trash there, but smells like rattlesnake. If she ends up going up to this, we'll reinforce that's a bad odor. If she already seems to know that it's bad, that means she learned the smell from the real snake already. So it's possible I won't even have to correct her here. I will point out there's a breeze definitely blowing this way. So if she's down in this space somewhere, she should catch wind of that. And usually it's pretty easy to tell. You'll see her shut her mouth and kind of locate it. So maybe try and get her to follow you kind of down in that space there. So I'll point out when she smells it. Usually it's pretty easy to tell. So nothing yet. Try and get her to go back that same way she just went.
Annie.
Smelling something else there. Yeah, that's perfect. You can kind of just keep doing that. And then, they don't know they're supposed to be looking for anything. So we're just waiting for her to happen to smell it. She's kind of in heel mode there. Let me try this real quick. You can watch the dust here. We can see exactly where the wind's blowing. So yeah, basically that way. If she's basically kind of standing like here, that would be perfect.
Annie.
Annie, go see Dad.
Annie.
Yeah, just kind of park her there for me. Okay, there we go. That should be it right there. Yep. Whoa, bad smell. Good girl. So she didn't go up to it. I think she did kind of recognize it for a second there. Wasn't too sure what it was. I think what goes through their head is they're like, that kind of smells like what zapped me over there, but they're not too sure what to do about it if it doesn't look like a snake. So she kind of lingered. So I did go ahead and give her a little pop there to confirm that it is a threat. Feel free to walk right by it and then call her. Yeah, good girl. She should avoid that now too. This one's usually a one and done because it's not as interesting as the live snake.
Annie.
Annie, go see Dad. Good girl. Atta girl, good choice. Yeah, she's going around the bush. So that was good. She was starting to recall in a straight line like normal and then took the long way around it when she got there. Walk right by it on the way out. I'm just curious to see what she does. Yeah, she went around. Good girl. Good job, Annie.
Good girl.
Good girl. Good job. Even the stink hurts, huh? So goal here is to basically put in her head, even if you don't see the live snake, if you are picking up evidence of one, just get out of there and leave it alone.
So just wanted to talk for a second. You got to see a couple corrections a minute ago with Annie, and you can see this is not meant to be a fun process. It's an aversive process, and it kind of has to be. If it was enjoyable to the dog, then they're not going to stay away from the snake. And this is serious business. So when we got here a few minutes ago, the people that were finishing their training, the reason they were here is their last dog at their house got bit by a rattlesnake and they had to euthanize it. So this is one of those things that you could look at it and say, poor Annie, this doesn't look like fun. It's not a ton of fun, but it's way better than dying, right? Like I don't think you can even put those in the same sentence really. So
Sure.
Anyone watching know that this is a big deal, and we recommend all of our clients in the Phoenix area to do this. To me, it's crazy not to. But you were going to say, Cody, we're on to something new here. We saw the real snake.
Yep.
None of us were scared, including me. We were all super brave about it. Then we saw the snake skin back there. What now?
Yep.
We've got noise.
So now we got to make sure that she definitely understands to run from rattling. So we've got a little speaker behind me here between the boulders, and we're essentially going to play a recording of a rattlesnake and make sure that she understands to flee from that sound if she ever hears that pop up around her. And this is the one step where we actually have the owners act afraid too. So up until this point, we've had you act oblivious, and that's again based on the reality that there could be a snake hidden that you don't know about. We'll make sure the dog avoids it no matter what the owners are doing. But this step sells better if we yell like a leave it or no or off or back, one of those commands, and we get away from it too. So you'll see us running from the sound too. It's just acting though. See, ideally she'll be near that boulder there. Good girl, Annie. Yeah, I guess I can just kind of pet her and talk to her for a second. Good girl. Learning valuable wisdom, sweetie, we promise. Good girl. I'll give you a countdown so you know it's coming. All right, you can kind of ignore her for a second. All right, 3, 2.
Oh, leave it.
Leave it. Good job, Annie.
So this is the final test. Now we've got a snake right by the door.
Yep.
And the goal is for Annie just to go to leave. Everything's casual.
Yep.
And she should see that snake and avoid it.
Bust it if she's paying attention. Whoop. Wasn't quite. It's okay. Just had another good scare right there. Those are the learning moments. Now that she knows it's there, try it all over again. And she should kind of break away from you or stop when she starts feeling like she's getting too close to it. She's already moving off to the side here. You could do it on leash too if you want. Just don't force her. You can just kind of let the leash be, yeah, loose leash. Let her pull where she wants, especially as you get closer to it. Does she normally heel on the left?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, keep coming, do a U-turn, and then go back this way. So she doesn't have to necessarily do anything there. Good girl. You could tell she was trying to get past it though. So yeah, turn and then go back that same way. She should actually switch to your right here.
Man, Devin, that snake was watching you.
Watch out, good girl. So yeah, she's doing that on her own. Good job, Annie. Now we'll do the off-leash thing again. Go ahead and try and get her against the wall, like right over, a little closer to the snake actually. You can take like 3 or 4 steps closer if she'll let you. That's good right there. Get them buzzing a little bit. Oop, almost fell over. All right, she's looking at, I'm gonna stay with her and then you can go, come here, Annie. Come here, sweetheart. Good girl. Yeah, you're doing awesome. All right, basically right by that bench over there. Matt, do you want to get her coming his direction with the camera? Because she should come way around it to get to him if you want to rotate that. All right, so yeah, basically just call her and she should go way around it. She may not give it 100 feet because in her mind there's still danger over there too, but we'll just see which way she goes. You can go ahead and call her.
Annie, come.
Good girl. She's like, which way should I go?
Yes.
Good job, Annie. That was definitely way around where the snake is. Good girl, Annie. Good girl. The way I like to end it is I usually try to get it to rattle one final time, have you yell another command. I usually leave it, right? Yeah, yell leave it, and then rush her out that side gate over there. The last thing she'll remember is hearing it one final time and then escaping to safety. When you hear it rattle, yell leave it, and then rush her out that side gate over there.
I'm coming with you, Devin. I'm going to run too.
We'll all run. Yeah, see if you can get her.
It's going to be realistic.
Yeah, she's kind of in obedience mode again here. I want to see if we can get her to look at it one more time. Okay, there we go. She's looking at it. She's backing up too. Good girl. All right, here we go.
Oh, we all escaped with our lives. It's touch and go there for a second, but I think we made it. Well, as you can see, we just finished the training, so now we're hanging out, and Devin has given Annie some love, and she's realizing life is good, just rattlesnakes are not good. Cody, what's the follow-up process like? What does Devin have to do from here on out?
Yeah, so we kind of tell people a little bit's based on how the year goes. If you guys happen to run into a rattlesnake months from now and she does beautifully and avoids it, you kind of got a free real test right there. If you don't see any rattlesnakes for several months, it's always a good idea. We recommend testing them about a year later. Our follow-up lesson, we don't drag her through the whole thing again. It's more of a pop quiz sort of scenario. We just put the snake out, see what she remembers. If she takes one look at it, runs away, it's a quick visit, and that's essentially it. We do get occasional dog here and there that needs some reminding though, which is why we recommend that everybody do it. So yeah, at least one follow-up about a year later.
Okay.
Yeah.
Easy enough.
Yep.
So everybody watching, we're going to put all of Cody's stuff in the description. So we'll have a link to, to reach out for training, but they also have, what do you call it? A zoo, a wildlife center?
Yeah.
What do you call it?
We call the property Rattlesnake Ranch, which is our zoo license, what it's under. So yeah, we have a huge rattlesnake collection. I actually started the business because I love reptiles too. And yeah, we've got a bunch on display. You can come check out as well.
So super cool, but I would recommend anyone, if you live in snake country, do this with your dog. It is a little bit stressful for the day for them, but it is way better than getting bit by a snake and potentially dying. So to me, it's a total no-brainer. If you have questions, reach out, and you can reach out to Cody anytime.